Welcome to the Carriker Chronicles, the People Show. Checking the pulse of Husker Nation, brought to you by XCancer. Check them out at XCancer.com. Such boring landscape in Nebraska football right now. There's just nothing to talk about. You know, whooping Iowa's rear end sideways. By the way, good luck and shout out to Trey Palmer. He just declared for the NFL draft. Man, we're going to miss you, but nothing but the best of luck. The dude's got first round talent. I think we all know that. Now, we have a new head football coach here at the University of Nebraska, Matt Rhule. The hiring was announced this morning. Now, this is interesting to me because the reaction from what I've seen is about 50-50 split, maybe 60-40. Okay, some people are calling it a home run hire. Some people are like, oh, this is not what I was looking for. I get it. The last time we hired a head coach, 99.9% of people were uber excited. So look how that turned out. So maybe the fact that there's a little bit more, some people like it, some people don't, question mark, shall we say. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe this will be the guy that finally pans out for Nebraska. Wouldn't that be great? Who knows, though? Here's what I'm going to tell you. I'm not here. I don't know how else to put it. I've gotten texts from people saying, make me feel good about this hire, the people who have the question marks. Obviously, there are those who think it's a great hire. And my response is, I'm not here to pump you up, make you feel good, make you feel bad. Okay, I'm here to give my honest opinion based on how I see things. Whether I'm right, whether I'm wrong, I'm obviously not unbiased. I'm obviously not completely objective. I want Nebraska to win. I want Matt Rhule to win 50,000 national championships. I'd settle for 50. But I try to be as objective and unbiased as I can. Okay? That's what I try to do, knowing I'm not going to be able to completely do that, and I'm okay with that too. Here's what I want from Matt Rhule, our football coach. Okay? First of all, win football games. Number 2, represent this university, this Husker football program, this great state with class. And number 3, be a developer of men, both on and off the field. Now, let's be honest. Whether we want to admit it or not, winning tends to cure all. Let's just be upfront and honest about that. Now, he did not have a great run with the Carolina Panthers. His winning percentage was .289. Okay, but I've said it before and I'll say it again. I don't give a crap whether you're a successful or not a successful NFL coach. I'm going to point it out again. I played with players at the Rams, and again, I don't use this word often, but they hated Nick Saban when they played for him at the Dolphins. He's done all right at Bama. Okay, Urban Meyer, awful at Jacksonville. Okay, gonna go down on the field as one of the most accomplished college football coaches of all time. So I do not equate NFL success or lack thereof to how you're gonna do in college football. I just don't. Okay, now this guy, he's known as a builder, a program builder, not from the ground up. Okay, but he takes over programs that are kind of meddling and then he builds them up. But I'll get to that in a minute. He's a balanced coach. He's coached defensive lines, offensive lines, linebackers, tight ends, quarterbacks, offensive coordinator. He's coached both sides of the football. You don't always see that. So he's a guy that is a balanced coach on both sides of the ball. And did you hear what I said? Offensive and defensive lines. I freaking love that. We got to get better there. We all know that. The trenches, ladies and gentlemen. He's about toughness. Okay, he's going to build up the lines, or I guarantee that's going to be a priority of his. Now, his 4 years at Temple, and I have talked about this before, so I'm going to go quickly. 4 years at Temple, his first year he had 2 wins, and then 6 wins, and then 10 and 10. Now, his second to last year, they played in the AAC, not ACC, the AAC championship game, the first ever championship game they had for that conference. They lost. His last year there, they won the conference championship, and they won a bowl game as well. 10 wins both of his last 2 seasons there. Now, you go to Baylor. His first year there, they had 1 win, then 7, and then 11. They finished ranked 13th in the country. Now that year, they made the Big 12 championship game, lost to a top 5 Oklahoma team in overtime, a team that ended up going to the college football playoff. Okay, now here's both sides of the coin. He's never beaten a Power 5 team with more than 8 wins. He has beaten 2 non-Power 5 teams with 9 wins. Again, I mentioned some of this before. He's one of those guys, he's going to tear you down to build you back up. Are we willing to maybe have a rough season or two? Again, his first year at Baylor, 1 win. His first year at Baylor, or at Temple, 2 wins. His second year at Baylor, 7 wins. His second year at Temple, 6 wins. Year 3. And he's got NIL and the transfer portal to work with. So maybe it doesn't work out here at all. Again, I'm looking at both sides of the coin. Maybe if he gets us going, maybe it doesn't even take 3 years because of transfer portal. Look at frickin' USC. Look at some of these other schools. You can do it quicker than ever in college football. Look at Kansas before the quarterback got hurt. Okay, so will we have the patience to maybe take a step back to take 2 steps forward? We'll see what happens. All right. Now, why does he have so many 10-win seasons yet just over 500 winning percentage? That's because he tends to tear you down before he builds you back up. Because his college football record is 47 wins, 43 losses, 1-2 in bowl games. All right, 1-2 in conference championship games. Now, again, he's known as a builder, a developer of players. Now, he's never been anywhere where the cupboard's completely bare. All right, if you look at Temple, 3 of the 4 years before he got there, they had 9 wins, 8 wins, 9 wins, and then 4 wins before he got there and took him over. Baylor, 3 of the 4 years before he got there, they had double-digit wins. And the year before he got there, they had 7 wins. So it kind of reminds me of Nebraska. Obviously, we don't have that amount of wins. But you look at the talent. Okay, we had 17 players who could come back. Obviously, transfer portal players declaring early, trades leaving early. So now 16 potential returning starters. That's a lot of guys that could potentially come back, okay? And they're from top 20 recruiting classes or a top 10 transfer portal class. No, the wins are not there. They've not been developed. The talent is there. Can he get that talent developed? Now, he's had 3 10-win seasons. As I've mentioned, he can recruit. He can especially recruit Texas, when Nebraska used to have a pipeline, okay? He can develop talent. Now, what's interesting to me, he could just sat back, not coached. He was getting paid by the Panthers. This guy loves football. So when asked this morning on College Game Day, why instead of sitting at home getting millions, he wanted to come and coach, he said he missed the players, missed coaching. Also, he grew up watching and revering Nebraska football. And he brought this up twice. He said leadership is right at Nebraska, okay? And he wants to develop players on and off the field. Now, he's never been anywhere longer than 3 to 4 years. So what if he builds it? What if he stays a long time? Okay, cool, everything works out. What if he builds us up and leaves after 3 to 4 years? We have to retain Mickey Joseph no matter what. Because even if Rhule's here long term, we got to keep Mickey. Okay, let's be honest. If Mickey goes, a lot of players are going to hit the portal. Plus, Mickey's a phenomenal coach, recruiter. People love him. He's got to stay. Also, if Rhule does go somewhere after a few years, you got a head coach in waiting. Okay? All right. Now, I'm going to do a show later this week on who else, all the assistant coaches. Who does he need to try to retain? Who does he not need to retain? But I'll do that in another show. Lots of Carriker Chronicles coming up. Reaction to Monday's press conference when Matt Rhule speaks to the media there. All right. He talked about also, he watched 6 or 7 Baylor players get drafted last year that weren't highly recruited. We're not highly recruited, yet they got drafted. When's the last time Nebraska had 6 or 7 players get drafted? And we have higher recruited players as an overall whole than Baylor. Developing, ladies and gentlemen. Now, again, he talked about this a couple times. In order to have success, Nebraska, in the modern era of NIL and transfer portal, everybody being in alignment and everybody moving in the same direction. That's one thing he liked. He talked about the president, the chancellor, the AD, and the head football coach, and everyone in the state moving forward in the same direction. Are you on board with that? Whether you like the hire or not, whether you think it's a home run, whether you don't, whether you're in the middle, are you on board with supporting the football program and giving this coach a legit chance? That's an easy yes for me. Here's 3 things that Matt Rhule is. Whether he's successful or not at Nebraska, we'll find out. But here's 3 things that he is. He's a recruiter. He's a motivator. Listen to the guy talk. I love listening to him talk. He's a recruiter. He's a motivator. He's a developer. Here's what he wants out of his players. He wants toughness and mental focus. He hates simple mental errors. All right. Again, I'm more excited than I was. I'm rooting for the guy. Every time I listen to him, I feel better and better. But I'm in the camp. I'm going to see what happens. Okay? I mean, there's no bigger supporter of Matt Rhule than Adam Carriker right here, right now. I'll tell you that. But I'm going to see what happens. But let me ask you. Comment. Just simply say yes or no. Do you like this hire? Okay? Comment. Do you feel better or worse about this hire after watching this show? Probably right down the middle. Again, no bigger supporter than me of Matt Rhule. We'll see what happens. Comment. Are you just going to wait and see? Okay? Also, do we need to keep Mickey Joseph? You don't have to comment on that. Just simply smash that like button. There should be like 80,000 likes on that button right there. I appreciate it because it helps the show, but also we need to bring Mickey Joseph back. All right, lots of Carriker Chronicles to come. Carriker Live Sunday night, 8 p.m. Central Time as well. Don't miss it. There's nothing going on in the state of Nebraska right now. What will I talk about? Until next time, go big red and always remember, go the Bugs. This show is brought to you by XCancer. Join the fight at XCancerStore.com and support your loved ones, your neighbors, and cancer fighters all over the world and help them gain access to revolutionary treatments. XCancerStore.com has a wide variety of t-shirts and merchandise supporting a wide variety of cancer battles so you can show off the colors that matter. Proceeds from each purchase not only help those at home, but also cancer fighters in Tanzania, Africa. Check them out at XCancerStore.com.